So I want to use this one as example to show how students can use large language model to help their learning, and to also show how faculty can use large language model to help their teaching. So let's see what's going on here. This is the slides. You should have the file. The slides will demonstrate how I'm going to talk about how to use LLM, help with the exercise. So you can see there's three files here. Have exercise 1, exercise 2, exercise 3. And then we have a exercise solution 1, exercise solution 2, exercise solution 3. So I have the prompt is used to tune the LLM. So what's the purpose? The purpose here is when students using large language model, they can do the exercise on their own, and they can get what's going on with the exercise. They can try to understanding the exercise, understanding the solution, understanding the logic of the exercise using LLM. So basically, so that's the logic. So basically, when students doing the exercise, they're always facing difficulties, solving problems, and then they can use LLM to get the solutions, not just solutions, get the explanations of the exercise, and using the and help with the learning process. So basically, this is the files you guys should pay attention to. So this is the exercise 1, exercise 2, exercise 3. Students want to do the exercise to understand what is going on with the exercise, but sometimes they're facing problems. When they're facing problems, the LLM can provide explanations for them, but it's not that easy. It's not that easy. So I want to be show you the procedures, how we should do that. So how we should do that. So basically, I want every student to create their own AI teaching assistant. This is what I want students to do that. So let's look at the step 1. The step 1 is, the purpose is, I want the students to using GPT to be able to do the exercise and learn from the explanations from GPT. But it's not easy because GPT always give you wrong answer. So what if GPT give you a wrong answer and you learn wrong stuff? So you have to be cautious with that. So I want students to be able to tune the GPT, and after tuning, the GPT can be a perfect AI to answer all the questions from the class in the correct way. So that's what the students can learn. So basically, students can learn 2 things from this exercise. Students can use GPT to get explanations from the exercise. That's number 1 learning objective. Number 2 is students can actually build the AI TA. The AI TA will be able to answer all the questions correctly for the course. So we are talking about these 2 in the following slides. So number 1 you have to do is you have to click GPT from your account. And then this is my email. You can do your own email. You can share with your team members, share with your people who care about you. You can, whoever care about you, can share with them. They can work on, they can use the model together with you. So this is, you have to create that first. So there will be your own TA. So basically students will create their own TA. And then so you have to define objective for the GPT. So basically, you tell GPT, you are AI teaching assistant for undergraduate accounting course, and your goal is to help students to learn correct problem solving and provide explanations. So basically, you tell GPT what kind of system you want. So you kind of prompting the GPT, tell GPT, you will become my TA. You got to learn. You got to make things are right. You tell the objective to the GPT. And then you can ask many questions. For example, we have so many exercises in the course. Like you can ask GPT, like how many files I can upload to you? How many files you can upload? Like each files, what's the size of each files? And basically, when you're trying to training the GPT, you have a lot of questions you don't know. Instead of checking menu, you just ask GPT how many files I can give you, what's the size of files. Just have an interactive conversation with GPT, trying to make GPT to be friendly to you, to be informative to you. And then what you do is, so this is the flow all the students need to do for the course. So you want to build an AI TA for the course. and you ask GPT, give a GPT exercise. If the answer is correct, and then you learn from the explanation. If the explanation is not clear, you ask GPT to clarify the explanation until you understand the question. That's all students need to do. That's a step one. Okay, step two, if the answer is not correct, you have to learn how to train GPT. And then I will teach you guys how to train it. You have to provide the correct answer. And then you have to make sure GPT will learn the correct answer. And then you ask an explanation. Once you make sure GPT is correct, and then you ask GPT, tell me, how can I understand the question? If the explanation is confusing, you can do that again. So this is the flow for the whole project students need to do to create a new AI, new AITA. So let me repeat it one more time. So students will give a question to GPT. If GPT is correct, student will learn the explanation. If the explanation is not confusing, the students will ask GPT, please explain your explanation to me. So by doing this multiple times, students will understand the exercise. Okay, what if the GPT is not perfect? GPT did the wrong thing. Students has to have the ability to spot when the GPT did wrong. So student has to identify when GPT did wrong, and then because the students have the correct answer, the students can train the GPT with the correct answer and make sure GPT understand the wrong answer, provide the correct answer. Once you've done this job solidly, you have to be really careful with this step. You have to make sure GPT really understand. Once GPT really understand what's going on, and then you can repeat the earlier step. You can ask GPT, okay, let me understand the questions and give me the explanations. So you can do this. So I want students to do this for every single question we have in the class. So how to do that? Let's do the example first. So you can see this is the question from the exercise. So if you wish to withdraw 10,000 at the end of each of the next 4 years from the bank account that pays 10% interest compounded annually, how much do you need to invest today to meet this goal? So this is a typical the present value of cash flow and also question, right? This is a very fundamental question for applied to most of course. So so students can put the question into the GPT and GPT give the answer, blah, blah, blah. But students feel confused. What does this mean? What does this formula mean? So even the GPT give you the correct answer, give you those explanations, students still doesn't understand the formula, doesn't understand what is discount rate. What does the formula mean? So you can see in this case, GPT will give the right answer, give the good explanations, but students may not be able to really understand what is going on with the discount rate. What is discount rate? What is the formula? I'm so confused, GPT, I'm so confused. If you're confused, tell GPT you are confused and tell GPT, tell me what is going on, explain more. I'm confused about the discount rate. I'm confused about the formula. I'm confused about everything. Then GPT will tell you, okay, here is the ideal present value, blah, blah, blah. GPT will patiently explain to you, oh, this is what do you mean by the formula? And what do you mean by the series? What do you mean by the formula, blah, blah, blah. So if students still confused, the students need to follow by each one. If the idea of the present value is not clear, GPT students can ask a follow-up question. What does this mean? So what I mean is by doing this iteration, students can keep ask questions until they understand this. If they still don't understand, come to my office hour. I want to show the procedure. I want to make sure they understand the points. So you can see that by using the GPT, they have a two purpose. The first purpose is the students can understand this foundation accounting knowledge or finance knowledge. This is a requirement for the course. And second, students can learn how to interact with AI. The students can see, okay, so you give a question to AI. AI give you answer, but the answer is not good. The student can ask more questions, and the GPT will give more answers. By doing this iteration, by doing this interaction, students can learn how to use AI. So this exercise have two purposes. The first purpose is to help students to learn the fundamental accounting and finance knowledge. That's number one. Number two is students will learn how to interact with AI. It's not just for this course, it's for every other course the students need. So, and then you can see that you give a question to AI, the students will, get an explanation. Then students can ask more explanation from the explanation. So and you can ask more questions. How do you get the formula? What's the discount rate? I'm confused about this. I'm confused about that. Just keep asking questions. GPT will be happy. GPT very happy. But what if the answer is wrong? That's the problem. That's something I want students to learn how to interact with AI and how to. That's the part I want students to learn. So you give an exercise to AI and you give exercise to AI. So you can see that this is the exercise to AI, and you just give the exercise to the AI, and AI give you the solutions. I don't want to go to the solution too much details here, but the solution is wrong. The solution is wrong. AI is not perfect. AI did this wrong. So first, students need to identify this is wrong. If students assume all AI give correct answers, that's a student's problem. That's not AI problem. The students has to be the gatekeeper. Students have to check the answer, whether the AI give the correct solution or wrong solution. So that's the number one requirement for the students. Whenever AI give the solution, students have to make sure the solution is correct. If it's correct, the students can learn the explanation. If it's not correct, they have to tune it. So in this case, the students give the exercise to AI, AI give the wrong answer. Students need to spot this is wrong answer. And then once it's wrong answer, what should students do? Okay, so what students need to train AI, make sure the AI understand that this is wrong. And they have to keep training this for all wrong questions. So at the end of the semester, there will be a perfect AI, TA AI can understand every single exercise we have in the class. So students will keep training the AI using the wrong answers, using the wrong questions. So you see how they train it. It's easy, so easy. So what the students need to do is, the student just tell AI, you are wrong, GPT, you are wrong. Please compare the correct answer with your mistaken answer and tell me, explain the correct answer. Why you want the GPT to tell the explanation? Because once you GPT tell where they are wrong, GPT can really guess where they are wrong. Because we want to provide hallucination. We want to make sure GPT really understand where is wrong. So what students need to do, whenever identify the wrong answers, GPT will give the correct solution. Students will give correct solution to GPT and tell GPT saying, hey GPT, you give me the answer, but you're wrong. Here's the correct answer. Compare your wrong answer with my correct answer. Tell me what is wrong. So, and then you see, GPT will tell you, oh, my bad. So I did a mistake earlier. So here is my mistake. And here's the correct answer. So once GPT saw your correct solution, GPT will go back to check what is going on. And because you ask GPT, explain what is going on, the GPT will tell you where they did wrong. So you are learning, students can learn where GPT did wrong, and the students can learn, oh, I will not make the same mistake. I hope that makes sense. So basically, GPT is not perfect. GPT will make a mistake, but as a student job is to correct the mistake. Once you correct the mistake, and you will learn how GPT makes the mistake, and the human students do not make the same mistake. So you can see that. And then once you do that, so basically, going back, so before students tuning, the GPT will give the wrong solution to exercise 2. But after students tune it, the GPT will give a correct solution to exercise 2. So that's the process. Students can learn from it. And then another one is, do GPT remember this? Like, one question is, what if GPT doesn't remember this? Like, every time I correct this mistake, GPT forget about the mistake, right? If that's the case, I mean, every time I have to correct it. So what should we do? So whenever you don't know the answer, ask GPT. So you ask GPT, hey GPT, do you actually remember this conversation? Like I corrected your mistake? Or do I have to show this one more time to you next time? GPT will tell you, I don't remember. So basically, next time, if you don't tell me this, I will not remember these correcting notes. So what the students need to do is, you have to save all the correcting notes as a file. And then whenever you run GPT, you have to run the file first before you ask new questions. I hope that makes sense. So GPT will not remember all the correcting conversation you guys have. So you have to save all the correcting conversation into an independent file. And next time, before you run the new question, you have to run the correcting file first, and you ask new questions. So this is what people need to do. Okay, students need to do. So and you ask GPT saying, "Hey GPT, I got it. Okay, please generate a reusable correcting notes for me." And every time you will accumulate the notes, and you can accumulate the notes along the semester, so students will have a very comprehensive correcting notes at the end of the semester. And I want the students to present the notes, and they will get a credit for presenting notes, because if you use AI in the right way, your notes should be comprehensive and correct. If you use AI in the wrong way, the notes will be short. You don't capture the mistake from the AI. So I want the students to present the correcting notes at the end of the semester, so they can see how they training the AI. So let me make sure GPT did the right thing. So you ask GPT to generate the notes, and GPT will give the notes to you. I say, okay, this is the key points, this is the calculation. So the GPT will generate the correcting notes for you, for students. Students will save this. And next time, there will be another mistake. There will be another correcting notes. Then students will save it. Students will just accumulate all these correcting notes together. And once they have all the notes at the end of the semester, using all the correcting notes, GPT will provide a perfect answer with these correcting notes. So you can see that you ask GPT to generate the reusable correcting notes. GPT will create the notes for you. And the students will save the notes into a file and accumulate all the notes together. And then let's do the validation. What do you mean by validation? Don't just really trust GPT did right. Do not. You have to validate the correct mistake. So you will upload another question. You will upload another question, similar question, and ask GPT to provide the answer. And then if the answer is incorrect, you have to train it again. If it's correct, it's done. So basically, this is the question they did wrong earlier. So what you want to do is you change some numbers of the question, and you give the new modified question to the GPT. Ask GPT, can you give me the right answer? So if GPT give the correct answer with the question after you modify some numbers, and then that means GPT really understand the question. If not, retrain it. Let me repeat it one more time. Make sure students understand what do you mean by validation. By validation is, this was the question the GPT did wrong, but you corrected. However, you cannot use the same question to test it. You cannot use the same question to test it. What you need to do is you just change some numbers. You change some numbers of the original question, and you use the questions with modified numbers as a validation test. And you ask GPT to provide the solutions to the questions where you change numbers. And if the solution is correct, that means GPT get it. If not, you have to retrain again. So the bottom line here is, when you're trying to validate the GPT, you cannot use exactly the same original questions. You have to modify the questions with some numbers, and you use the modified questions to test the GPT. So please make sure the validation is correct. This is very important. I want every student to understand the validation and provide correct validation. And then, so you can see that. So you do the prompting. You do the prompting, and you can see that. You can make sure validate the GPT did right. So you can see that based on the correcting notes and the information in the uploaded Excel, here's the step-by-step solution of XYZ, blah, blah. So you can see that if the GPT did it correct with the modified questions, you're good to go. So, and then if you still have the questions about explanation, you can follow up. So basically, once you finish up once GPT can provide the correct answer, and then you can start the learning process. You can say, oh, now you are doing the right thing, but I don't understand what's the logic behind the answers. So First, you make sure GPT can provide the right answer. Once GPT can provide the right answer, and you can ask GPT to explain what's the logic behind the solution, and you can learn from GPT, okay? Make sure you understand the logic. Make sure the GPT will provide the correct answer. That's step one. GPT provide the correct answer. Once GPT provide the correct answer, and then you ask GPT the explanations. So why? So ask GPT, I don't understand this, I don't understand that. So what's the project requirement for this? I want you all the students understand the project requirement. First, I want you the students to use this for all class exercise. If the GPT give the correct answer, there's no need to train. We will just ask GPT to provide explanations. Students can learn from the explanations. If GPT give the wrong answer, and you follow the earlier step to train it and validate, and then validate, you cannot just assume GPT get right. You have to validate the GPT is correct. And then what do I want students submit? I want students submit 2 files. The first one is correction notes, because for each wrong question, the students will have a correcting notes. You accumulate all the correcting notes and the training procedures, and you submit to me. I will grade on this. I will grade on these correcting notes. If you did a perfect job, the AI students trained will provide perfect solutions for all the exercise we have in the class. If you do a correct job, if the correcting notes is not perfect, if the correcting notes are not, if you miss something, and then your trained AI will not be able to answer some of the questions. So I will get the AITA score. So basically, I will using the notes to check like how many questions are correct and how many questions are incorrect. So basically, I using the correcting notes, I can see that how many wrong questions you captured, and then I using that I can do the grading. I can use grading. So basically, so let me just repeat the requirement so you guys can see. So if the GPT do right, no worries, students can just learn from the explanations. If GPT right, if GPT did wrong, the student have to tune it, validate it, following the earlier slides, and then learn from it. And the students will submit the correcting notes, and I will grade on the correcting notes. The way I grade on the correcting notes is, if the correcting notes is perfect, and then the correcting notes should correct all the mistake GPT is creating. If the correcting notes is not perfect, they will miss something, and then I will grade on that stuff. And the students will present it. This is I want students to present. The students will present. I will select some individual to present. I will ask the students to present the examples that GPT did wrong, how they correct the mistake, and show the correcting notes. And the students will present this. And I want students to understand what's the training procedure, how to validate. Remember, when you validate, you cannot use the exact question. You have to modify the question to validate. And when GPT gives the wrong answer, and they can report the how you train them. When GPT give the correct answer, the students can show how they ask an explanation. I want students to get the screenshots. So this is basically the project requirement from students. So I don't need all students to present. I will have students to several students to present, and basically I want them to show how the GPT give the wrong answer and how they correct an answer. I want students to show the how they correct it. I want students to show the correcting notes. This is important, because if you have the most comprehensive correcting notes, you have a perfect TA. If you don't have the comprehensive correcting notes, you don't have a perfect TA. And then I want students to show the training procedure and the validation by modified answers. And I want students to show when the GPT is wrong, how they correct it. When GPT is correct, how they ask explanations. I want students to get the screenshots. So I think this is a very exciting one. So I want to, so what's the purpose of this? Two purposes. The number one purpose is not AI. There's nothing about AI here. The number one purpose is students should learn the fundamental knowledge. What's the present value? What's the so students will learn the fundamental accounting and finance knowledge using this exercise. Because GPT can provide explanations, right? Because GPT can provide explanations, students can use this exercise to learn what's the hardcore accounting, what's the hardcore finance, what's the foundation of the accounting finance. This is students can learn from it. This is number one objective. Number two objective is by using this training process, students can learn how to use AI, how to interact with AI. So like I said earlier, once students do this project, they're not just benefit from the accounting course, they benefit from finance course, they benefit from marketing course, they benefit from future career, because this is not just learning accounting, fundamental hardcore accounting. This learning fundamental accounting is one objective. I think the second objective is students learn how to using AI. Once students how to using AI, they can use this for learning accounting, learning finance, learning objective. They can use this learning for everything they will face when using in a future career path. So that's the objective. So students will use this to learn fundamental accounting and also using AI as a tool to discover all knowledge, not just accounting knowledge. So that's what I want to share.